Form is a basic wanderer archetype used as starting template to create new character. Your chosen form determines a range of options and preset characteristics for your wanderer, and can also inspire you to roleplay in a certain way. There are several starter forms to choose from, as well as more unique ones that you may discover and unlock on your travels across Braided Shore. Many different types of people and being inhabit Braided Shore, Ashen folk being the most common. Your origin describes what type of people you are related to. Each type of being has its own strengths and weaknesses. Every person that has connections to one of the four great winds. Affinity makes the cost of skills that wind less, meaning you need fewer skill points to learn it. Oh, Asken, not Ashen. Descended from the peoples that inhabited the islands of Braided Shore since before recorded annals. Your kind is by far the most numerous, naturally adaptive and resourceful. Asken folk have no natural physical weaknesses or fortitude, but their inherent spirituality makes them able to master the language of magic. Born in the Eastern Wind, you receive a buff on skill checks related to the Eastern Wind. This buff, with its powerful, just and true qualities. Hey, there's quite a few different forms. Outspoken song weaver, artful dreamer of gilded moments, joyful mesmerizer, naturally becoming mastery, captain of dignified beauty, sophisticated splendor, armored pilgrim of mastery, guarded story journey's end, Vanguard Storm Rider. By common norms, unfettered, spirit deep ponderer of purpose, carefree self-paced meanderer, kind and servile might, generous guardian embrace, responsible armor of others, self-styled craftmaster, adept collector of expert learning, sage authority. That sounds good to me. Playful laughter of living, layabout generous jester, bemused adventurer. Magic made familiar and fair, restful depth of mind's communion, forevermore belonging. Force of one, non-beholden quickster, curious eye. Safety's innocence, true beats harmonious heart, simply undemanding purity. Widespread wisdom's journey, wise vagaries of ages, sage old guide. Shrouded whisper step, spell-cloaked veiled dominion, solitary secret ruler. I like the regent the most. So it looks like we can only get Asken folk for now. Receive a buff on skill checks related to the Northern Wind with its cerebral, calm and mindful qualities. Talents, mechanical, social. There's physical, spiritual, mechanical and social. Okay. Whether or not it's past you cherish or despise, your background affects who you are and will influence your future. Your wanderer's age and gender does not affect gameplay. It is included solely for any role-playing purposes you choose to pursue when enacting your character. Rural upbringing. Growing up in the farmlands, you learned at an early age how to work the fields, care for livestock and read the shifting of the seasons. You grew up in a small settlement, learning to tend to your parents' vegetable garden and heed the individual peculiarities of neighboring villages. You grew up in a large city, learning the business relationships between trade, crafts, supply and demand, and the many faceted rules of the city's streets and alleys. After upbringing, your youth was spent in an apprenticeship learning the trade of your parents. You have a good understanding of the nature of stone, wood and metal. That is definitely me. Mystic upbringing. Your child spirit was open to the mysteries. You spent your youth learning to control your mystic gifts. Lost memories. You have little recollection of your past. Know how you lost your memory. Unburdened by any dark memories, still you imagine you know something of what it is to be an uprooted tree. You were raised as a cub among bandits, learning the tricks and skills necessary to live outside of gentle society. A child of seaborne family, you spent most of your youth on ocean-going vessels, learning the language of the waves and the weather. You grew up in a mountainous terrain, tending goats, climbing rocks, exploring caves and listening to the silent beat of the mountain's heart. You grew up on an island shore fishing, gathering driftwood and pondering the mysteries of the tides and endless horizon. Lacking nothing in care and comfort, you have enjoyed a privileged childhood as highborn, bred to shoulder the responsibility of keeping the secrets of engineering and master iron. Like so many other children of the destitute, or unfortunately for you, going to sleep cold and hungry was the norm rather than the exception. Still, you survived where many perished. You were raised under the influence of religious believers. After a childhood governed by strict rules and constant judgment, you are now free to pursue your own ways of worship. You spent your childhood as the property of others. Without freedom to choose, you took learnings from every encounter. At freedom's door, and for the first time, you now stand ready to make your own life choices. Bred to shoulder the responsibility of keeping the secrets of engineering and master iron. That does sound good. But I think I prefer the crafts one. Oh yeah, then if you want to go deeper into roleplay, you can write your own story. Besides being a crucial cornerstone for your role-playing experience, your Wanderer's personality traits will affect a great variety of situations. Positive traits will grant you benefit in a certain aspect of your travel and can often with clever use be used to your advantage. Your negative traits, on the other hand, may at times disadvantage or hinder your pursuits. Relentless, you are untiringly committed to the task at hand and never accept failure as an option. Your ghost form is visible for longer after using emotes. Not yet implemented. Eager, yours is an enthusiastic soul that is more than willing to go the extra distance. You can run faster than other folk. Unorganized, your time is too valuable to waste on sorting your belongings. Objects may randomly move around in your back. You have a way of presenting yourself in a pleasant and delightful manner, slightly better trading. Increased value of own goods, that sounds good. You are very sensitive to the presence and judgment of others. You can see ghosts on the map. You are naturally adept at observing your surroundings. You can see collectibles glimmer more often. Others find your ways mysterious and puzzling. The effects from the tea you brew last a bit longer than normal. Dedication to study, research, or other supernatural means grants you superior general knowledge. Retain some of the knowledge of honed skills when you forget them. You are able to fully concentrate on the task at hand. You brew tea quicker than other folk. You have developed painstaking attention to detail. You have a chance to receive more reagents when picking them. You can contemplate for days, dissecting each thought to get to the truth. For a time after leading a group, you gain more knowledge. You are overly reliant on others to meet your emotional and physical needs. You have slightly less force when not a member of a party. You tend to relate to a lot of information in a short time. Your emails are visible for a shorter time than normal. You fear death much more than folk in general. You get dealt a free fear effect debuff card when you are on your last life. Spirits from beyond hold nothing but terror for you. You get dealt a fear effect debuff card after seeing a ghost. You lack any sense of order and keep your belongings, that was already there. You refuse to eat anything but the finest fare. You are unable to eat low quality foods. Waking up is a long and dreary process for you. You move sluggishly and cannot run after logging in or after resting. Heavy burdens oppress you more than other folk. Wearing metal armor gives you more burden. So I have to pick one, at least. Yeah, first talker, I guess. There are many skills for the newly awakened wanderer to find, learn and master. Skills are divided into 5 categories: actions, abilities, tea-making, knots, and passives. Skills can be found traded for or taught to you by the characters and creatures you meet on your travels. You gain the possibility to increase the amount of skills you can have active as you gather experience and level up. Before being able to use a skill, you must first learn it and then activate it from your skill book. Right-click on any skills to learn how the skill works. Knots. The tying of magical knots is the most common magical practice in Braided Shore. The gestures of tying and the final shape of the knot, together with the regions tied into it, are what gives a magic knot its power. There are many kinds of magical knots. Their effects are commonly released instantly upon untying them. Knots are also what Braided Shore folk use for writing. It is believed that the knot symbols closely relate to ancient words of making. That together with the properties of plant or mineral regions is what gives them their power. Tea. Serving teas is a common practice all over Braided Shore. It is also a craft connected to the mystical arts, and magical tea recipes can be acquired throughout the land. Drinking magical and masterfully prepared teas may imbue the drinker with a variety of long-term effects. Skills that require cunning, guile, or survival instincts are your abilities. These are not magical but may very well mean the difference between life and death on your journey. These are abilities or effects that are always active. These are normal skills that your character can perform, like resting or attacking. These skills automatically come equipped with your character, so you don't have to pick them here. Your talents grant you the ability to attempt to overcome challenging endeavors on your journey. This is the measure of your social intelligence, your ability to garner feelings of fellowship from others, to gain their trust or to manipulate them. This is the measure of your physical prowess as well as your ability to intimidate or inspire by sheer might. This is the measure of your attunement to the spirit world and the strength of your perception into the magical realms. This is the measure of understanding of mechanical devices and how fluent you are in the language of logic-related subjects. Set your body and mind in deep rejuvenating meditative rest. Endurance active until cancelled. Enables you to read other travelers, finding out their personality traits. Highlight crown and draw a line of it for others to see. Read heart sounds good. And I'm putting that point in the mechanics. No matter how much energy you put into your own appearance, how you look and how you present yourself plays a big part in how others perceive you. Eye color. You are committed to a life of mastery and dedication. You strive to live a life of mastery and dedication. You are totally committed to a life of mastery and dedication. You are committed to living a passionate and vivid life. You are committed to living a serene and persevering life. You are committed to living a supportive and adaptive life. You are committed to a life of humility and curiosity. You are committed to living a life of wisdom and creativity. You are committed to living a life of spiritual and imaginative life. You are committed to a life of mastery and dedication. Mastery and dedication sounds good. Your voice is used in many everyday situations. You can use your voice call to create, signal, or react to others using the middle mouse button.
Hey. 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 Hey.
You start your journey with a handful of items in your pack and some worn equipment. On your travels, you can strive to get new and better equipment by exploring, trading, and overcoming challenges and enemies. There is no coinage or specific currency in use in Braided Shore, so mastering the art of trading will be key to your material wealth. Right-click on an item to see the approximate value and other details. You cannot carry an infinite amount in your pack. Renting luggage space at the train master stash, available on most train stations, is a good way to store things you want to keep but don't have immediate use for. Besides talents and skills, your character also has 4 cardinal stats: Force, Ward, Speed and Burden. These affect a variety of things and depend primarily on the equipment you wear, but also certain skills and other effects. Force is governed mainly by the deadliness of your weapon. When you engage in a combat situation, Force is the stat that dictates the power of your attack. Ward is granted mainly by armor and protective equipment. Ward represents how much force you can deflect from an opponent's attack before you start suffering fatal wounds. Speed is influenced by your burden as well as an effect from various equipment. It affects your stamina and your ability to tie knots quickly. In combat, speed hastens your initiative and quickens your attack timer, enabling you to reach higher hit probability faster. Burden is the antithesis of speed. It makes you slower, increases time to tie knots, and slows down your initiative. Burden is connected to your encumbrance, but particularly armor granting a high ward, making you sturdy but sluggish. Practical wanderers travel back to the bulky shellfish's basket and the farmer's humble haversack. A well-made carrier is a treasure. Bags and carriers come in different sizes that determine how many items they can hold. They can also feature 1 or more extra pockets to store even more items. Footwear eases the strain on wanderers' feet, protects the tender toes of workers, and separates the wealthy from the poor. Burden and Ward. A morsel of food will strengthen the body and lighten the spirit. This blanket is double lined with wool. Wet or dry, it will keep you warm at night. Okay. And those are here. A given and family names will appear to all members of any party of wanderers you join. Your name will stay with you and cannot later be changed. Much power lies in a person's true name. Choose it with care. Your nickname is your alone and cannot be seen by others. It can be changed or added later. How did your journey begin? I was traveling on land. In which region did you start your travels? From the east. Yeah, journey at sea and north. Let's go with that.
You are one of the many who have outstayed their welcome here, and the time for your dispatch has arrived.
Move along. Walk fast.
Hard voices and harsh hands drive you up a gangway
Up the walkway.
into the dark,
Move along.
dank belly of a wooden hulk. The floor heaves, the roof creaks, and icy drops of water stab at you from cracks in the hull. Only the closeness of your fellow travelers saves you from the worst of the cold. The ashen sky and the rolling waves are impossible to tell apart. Food and sleep are rare and brief. Days pass without shape or number. Some journeys we choose. Others are chosen for us. You hobble down the gangway with a body stiff and aching. The air is warm and rich with spice, and you're greeted with kind gestures, for strangers here are welcome. You shoulder your pack and begin to count the ways you'll spend your freedom.
Oh man, the art style. Looks like a painting. Sympathetic pulled hand. Keep your voice down. I don't want my shipmates over there noticing we're talking. I grew up not far from here. As soon as you may, you should head west. When the wood begins to clear, turn to the southward. Keep continuing until you reach the fishing village of Myr. Speak to the steward of the tea house. I know she has a soft spot for tragic life stories. He will take your plight to heart and give you a free meal at least. Wind's blessing on your path, friend. Okay. There's a lot of world available. have some regens. Curious traveler. Finally solid ground beneath my feet. I heard one of the sailors call this land Braided Shore. Yeah, feels somehow welcoming. I'm also going to a city called Crossings. The girl next to me on the voyage kept talking about it. I can't see her here. Wonder what happened to her. Well, we can't stand here for the rest of our lives. Sorry, I have to tend to our drinking water now. We'll soon be returning to the ship out in the bay. Head west and then south and aim for the Mer tea house now. I think I did see something that mentioned that we should have pen and paper for some of the exploration. I guess I'll keep a notepad on the other screen. West and south and aim for Mer tea house. There are a multitude of skills for you to discover and learn on your adventures. Before you have decided to learn a skill, it appears as a skill card item in your inventory and may be used for trade if you choose. Right-clicking on a skill card gives you a detailed description of it and also displays a learn option. Learning a skill consumes the skill card permanently and adds the skill to your skill book. Many skills are connected to winds, and though nothing stops you from learning skills associated with any wind skills related to your form's wind affinity are less costly to memorize. The skills associated wind is shown on the skill description. Actions are mundane, permanent skills that have no wind affinity connected to them. There are 4 common types of skills available to learn: nods, teas, abilities, and passives. Some skills require specific regions to use, others may be used only under certain circumstances or require a cooldown before becoming usable again. Regardless of skill type, every skill added to your skill book has a knowledge point value or KP attached to it. The knowledge point cost to have a skill memorized is shown underneath each skill icon in your skill book. Note that a few skills, most commonly action skills, cost 0 KPs, making them free to memorize. You will begin your adventure with only 1 knowledge point. As you gather experience on your travels, you will soon earn more. Each new level you reach will grant you an additional knowledge point. Thus, at level 5 you will have 5 KP, and at level 10 you will have 10, etc. Your unassigned and max total KPs are displayed at the bottom of your skill book. By choosing how to invest your KP, you allow yourself to choose to specialize by having only a few KP costly skills memorized, or to play more as a jack of all trades and focus on a higher number of skills with lower KP cost. You may at any time unmemorize a skill to free up KPs, but this is a time-consuming process and may have further temporary repercussions, as described in the section Honing Your Skills. Some skills can be honed and will evolve with time and use. Right-click on a skill to display its full description and look for the honing notches below the skill icon. By using the skills often or simply having it memorized for longer periods, you will automatically hone the skill. make it more and more effective all the time. Take note that when you unmemorize a skill, all the skill's honing notches are lost. It's therefore wise to be mindful when reordering your skill build. Not all skills can be honed, however, so when you need a temporary reordering of your skills, unmemorizing skills that lack honing notches may be a better option. One of the new generation, eh? Hello, youngster. Can you see any kinship between us, Kelim? I was once a famous Kelim, would you believe, wandering between the villages all over Braided Shore. Of course, in those days, we were all journeyers, crafters, most every one of us, with the odd mystic or two, of course. We hoped the locals with our special knowledge in building craft, engineering and the like. The term Kelim, or Dandelion, was minted by those villagers, of course, reflecting on how they saw us, seeds on the breeze. Oh yeah, damage from the ship trip here. Oh, Desmer. Okay, so we can go further. Man, this art style is so impressive. Never seen anything like it. Almost at the tea house. Oh, a trader. Oh, I meant to read that.
Good day.
You get a better trade if you trade your goods away, far away from its source. Makes sense. Haunted headstone. Thanks, okay. Endeavors are challenges that require considerable effort, often requiring you to employ them together with other travelers to stand a chance at overcoming them. Whether individually or as a group, endeavors often test the challenger's talent in either mechanics, spirituality, physicality, or sociality. Some endeavors require only a number of participants to join in the effort and disregards talents altogether. Once the trial of an endeavor is overcome, those involved may expect rewards of various kinds, items, boons, lore, or access to hidden areas, to name but a few possibilities. Something from beyond is reaching out through the headstone. Spiritual sensitivity is required to establish contact. I think I only have one. Hail Wanderer, welcome to Myr, the sweet-smelling hub of spice and tea trade, and to our perhaps not as sweet-smelling fishing harbor. Enjoy your visit. Okay, so I gotta find the tea house. Concerned lighthouse keeper. Oh dear, what happened to you? Have you been to the tea house? I guess not. Midna would never let you leave it in the sorry state you are in. You can find the tea house lakeside to the south. Off you go, stranger. Lakeside to the south. Peter Bridge Builder. Hurt are you? Ah, tough luck. Now if there had been a bridge straight across here to the tea house, you'd be alright, right? As it is, you'll have to wade your bruised ass across the water, probably getting some leisha stuck to your cheeks on the way. Okay. Ah, they want something out of me. To actually go... Oh yeah. Will there actually be leeches here? Your clothes are soaked. Rest by a fire to dry them. Ah, I lose energy faster now.
We see all, no man.
Do not force the hand of the warden.
You got the wrong warden, Kelim. My friend here is the one who does the talking. Mind you, he does most of his talking with his crescents. I have teachings to share, traveler. Should you wish to learn how to fight effectively in armor, I myself am wearing armor at the moment. I invite you to draw against me that I may prove the value of the teachings I can bestow. We're not really a physical kind of character. Machinist Union. The role belongs to the industrious.
Production is good these
You're the British show, are you? On behalf of the Machinist Union, I bid you warmly welcome. Have you a leaning towards of the mechanical arts? British Show ensures a unique an inheritance of machines and technology from the far distant ages of Eldens.
When we are all gone.
The coroner's embargo of Casa and many ferry lines makes it impossible to visit the northern capital of Newfoundry. But when the embargo ends, you must travel to the marvelous city of smokestacks, parks and peacocks. With a bit of luck, you'll find me at the Machinist Union Lodge, and permit me to offer you a cup of Newfoundry smoked tea. Bye for now, Kelim. Ah, damn. Machinist Union, though, sounds like my kind of people.
Rest yourself, nomad.
Compassionate tea house owner.
Welcome to you, wanderer.
Oh dear. Do you look worse for wear, poor thing? Here, take the weights of your legs, while I fetch you something springy to drink. Aka always has a little something simmering out back, and you'll need some food in your too. Perhaps one of my old shirts will fit you, at least it will be clean and dry. Speaking of our resident brewmaster Aka, he knows a lot about the Dandelion Temple. I imagine you might want to pay that place a visit. Go say hello to him, if you like. He's right over there, fussing with his teapots. Did I get some... Oh, look at that boat! Man, that looks cool.
Rest yourself, nomad.
Oh yeah,
Welcome to you, wanderer.
oh, I can learn some tea recipes here. The trade window, you then need to match the trade value of the NPC's items with items from your own inventory. Oh, you can press the NPC's inventory on the left side of the screen while the other right displays your own inventory. To begin bartering, you click to drag items that you would like from the NPC's inventory down to the trade window. You then need to match the trade value of the NPC's items with items from your own inventory. The scales indicator shows how fair the NPCs find your current offer to be. When the trade is acceptable to the NPC, the handshake icon lights up. Clicking it will execute the trade. Yeah, so now it's unfair. Yeah, I don't have the currency for that. Headed for the Dandelion Temple, are you? Pardon me for assuming, but you do look the sort. Well, if you are, you came by the right way. There is a ferry from the harbor here that will take you all the way to the trading outpost of Bat-Shaha. From Bat-Shaha, you only have to head south to find the temple. That is, if there is where you are headed, of course. Winks at you. I'm getting knowledge level by just talking to people. Okay, so it's over here.
Welcome to you, wanderer.
This tea house rests right on the very motherlode of tea and spice trade. You won't find a better brew than here. Well, unless perhaps if you stray east across the bridge to Mert. I would advise against it though. Odd folks the Mertons. Especially now after the Casa incident. Since they gave themselves a self-inflicted embargo, we just know what they're up to, those Mertons. Anyway, what and how may I serve you? Oh, there we go. That's the shirt they gave me. Sweet.
Our factory is one of the oldest in Rivenleaf.
New Foundry. It could be something that's introduced into the game later, of course. I guess we'll try to go to Batsaha. So just inspecting stuff gives you knowledge too. You really just gain experience by experiencing stuff. Wonder what we could give for the bridge builder. Yeah, my lily-livered union representative for refusing to ask for support of the wood crafters union. I'm gonna need more wood if I'm ever to finish this thing. So I need to obtain some wood. I assume I'm going to need an axe. Payday, Waywalker. Welcome to the fishing village of Mer. My name is Verse. Except for our prolific fishers, Mer is also the hub of the tea and spice trade in southern Braided Shore. You can sample many of our local specialties at the Bridgekeeper Tea House. If you need supplies and equipment beyond that, I welcome you to browse my fine wares. Unread messages. A sword. Assemble fireplace. Create wind shelter. This place is all about tea. I wonder where I could learn some woodcraft. As you don't look like a fisher or a merchant, may I assume you seek passage on a ferry? Service to Batsaha is running according to schedule and can be boarded on this dock at the regular intervals. If you would like a ferry pass to carry the passage, I would be happy to trade you for one. Trade value is 23. I can trade some of my food. I do really like the potential for crafts and stuff in this. How you can trade stuff you've crafted, not just simple coins like everywhere else. Oh, I would have gotten it for free, I guess. How do I board it? Oh, there we go. Oh, okay, you can press tab to view everything. Takes a while to get started. There we go. Man, this would be an awesome game to play multiplayer too. In a group.